Hi, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be learning some basic addition. This is a method that you would have probably learned in primary school, and it's an important method for us all to know. So yeah, let's get started. So say for example we had the, say say 7 plus 8. What do you do? So what you do is you write them underneath one another. 7 plus 8. Okay, you draw the line, put your 1 there. 7 plus 8. Now I know off the top of my head, I guess with experience, is that it is 15. But let's break it down. What goes on in our mind when we look at these two numbers? When we look at the 7, what we're doing is we're trying to simplify it. 7 is the same as 5 plus 2, while 8 is the same as 5 plus 3. Now, if we draw the line here and we go 5 plus 5, which is 10, and then 2 plus 3 is 5, that's a lot easier to sort of add in our mind than looking at the numbers 7 and 8. So once you practice, you actually get pretty good at breaking these numbers down, and obviously you get the same number, which is 15. Yeah, so you get pretty good at this. Okay, now let's look at a bigger number. Say if you had 14 plus 2. Simply line them up. So with this traditional form of method that you'd call when it comes to addition is that you have to line them up. You have to line them up going from this way to that way, and the reason being is because you have your ones, your tens, your 100, your thousands, thousand column. Okay, so this column here is the reason why you line it up like you do. Okay, so this way going that way, going from smallest to biggest. So 14 plus 2, so you have this column here where it belongs to the 4 and the 2, which is 6. You write it down, 1, nothing to add to the 1, simply carry it and bring it down. We get our answer of 16. And now using say 44 plus 87, a bigger number. Again, the columns, remember that. 4 plus 7 is 11. You carry the 1, right? You carry the 1 because this column belongs to the 4 and the 7. Because you've got this numbers on the left here, you can't put the 11, you can't just simply write the 11. You're able to write the first number. If it was 12, you write the 2 and then you carry the 1. If it was 10, you write the 0 and then you carry the 1. So we've carried the 1, then 4 plus 8 is 12, plus another 1 is 13, our answer of 131. And the reason you're able to write the 13 in the last column here is because there's nothing else to the left. Now if we were to look at an example where you had numbers, a bigger number where you had more numbers to the left, what you'd sort of notice is that you can't do it. You have to keep carrying your remainders, you'd call it. So 556 or 67, whatever, is added to 254. What you do is line it up as I said before. Got your ones, your tens, and then your 100 column. Okay. So 7 plus 4 is what? 7 plus 3 is 10 plus another 1 is 11. You write down the 1, carry the other 1. 6 plus 5, 10, 11, another 1 is 12. Write your 2, you carry your 1. You can see that I'm carrying my 1 because there's still numbers to the left. 5 plus 2 is 7, plus this remainder is 8. Okay, you've got 821. Going even bigger, say 3,498 plus 679. Again, as you can see, I've line them up going this way. I don't line them up. I didn't line it up. For example, say if I had the same number, I didn't line up the numbers like this. So the reason I'm saying that so much is because it's really important that you line it up correctly. Okay, that's a must. So keep that in mind as you're doing these. All right, back to it again. 8 plus 9. So 9 plus 1 is 10. We have another 7 left over. 17. You write the 7 down. Okay, you carry the 1. 9 plus 1 is 10, plus another 7 is 17 again. carry the 1 over. 4 plus 6 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Write the 1 down, carry it over, because again we have numbers to the left. Now because we've got no more numbers to the left here, what we can do is we simply go 3 plus 1 is 4, write it down. You just bring it down. You can even imagine that there is a 0 here, okay, just so that you have that symmetry, you have something there so that you're not confused. So 3 plus 0 is still 3, so it makes no difference. You can just imagine that there's a 0. If it helps you, just write the 0 in there. Okay, so I guess one other thing that I think we should go through is can you add multiple numbers using this method? And the answer is of course. And so even if you've got like a million numbers that you want to add together, obviously if you've got a million numbers, hopefully you don't have a million numbers, but I guess if you have say 5 or 6 numbers or even 4 numbers, say we have 3,462 plus 754 plus 802 plus 300, you simply write it in line. Again, you see how I've lined all the numbers here perfectly, all the numbers here, and this is obviously no more. Again, we're doing some addition. You start off with the first column, you add it up simply, as simple as that. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus another 2 is 8, 0 is just 0, so we have 8 in this first column, so write it underneath. 6 plus 5, obviously 11, because the zeros, now you know, just still 0, so you add your 1, carry the other one over. 4 plus 1, so what we'll do is, I guess the easiest one, so you look at your column, you've got multiple numbers. The way that you want to approach it is, how can I simplify this? How can I add numbers where I can get to the nearest 10? 7 plus 3 is 10, plus 8 is what? 18, plus another 4 is 22. Obviously, plus another one is 23. You write your 3 down, you carry your 2. 3 plus 2 is 5, because there's no other numbers here. So you write down your 5. As I said before, you can add a 0 if that's going to help you. See how it keeps that column nice and clean? If it does help you, just write it down, okay? So as you can see, we've had, how many numbers did we have? 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers that we can use to go about this method. Now, I want to make sure that you guys know that this is, you know, you need a pen and a piece of paper and a little bit of time to go through this, but it's still an important concept to understand, an important method to have in your arsenal. I guess one last thing I'd like to go through is, how do we add decimals? How do we add our decimals? And simply put, say for example, if we had 0.125 plus say 0.33, you line it up going from the decimal. And the reason you want to go from the decimal is because when it comes to decimals, you, for example, when we went 0, say for example 0 point something 33, there's a 0 there, okay? There's a 0 there. I guess the easiest way to look at it is that you want to make sure that your decimal point is lined up when it comes to adding decimals. Okay, so once you've got your decimal point lined up, you do the same thing. You start off with the first column here. 5 plus 0 or nothing is simply 5, so you write down the 5. Okay, 3 plus 2 is also 5. 3 plus 1 is 4. You carry your decimal point, of course, and you get your 0, and we get 0.455, and that is how you add a decimal. And then you can have any other number, 0.456 plus 0.374. And like the long division, the addition that we were doing before with the large numbers, you still have remainders to carry. So 6 plus 4 is 10. Write your 0, carry the 1. 7 plus 5 is 12, plus another one is 13. Write your 3 down, carry the 1. 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. And carry your decimal. and you've got 0.830. So again, I just quickly wanted to go through that because I know some students, when it comes to decimals, it may not be relevant to you now, but I guarantee that there will be a time that you will, or you may run into them, and it's a good idea to sort of already know or have that understanding that it's pretty much the same rule. You just got to line up your decimal point and carry your remainders, and don't forget to add them. And with that, I thank you for watching, and if this video helped you out, make sure to help me out by subscribing, hitting that like button, leave me a comment with any feedback or questions, and I'll do my best to get back to you. So yeah, we'll see you in the next video.